Good morning, everybody. It's Jonathan Harmon with the J. Harmon Home Team, powered by Keller Williams, with my new friend, Miss Kathleen Tyree of the Technology Engagement Center that's part of the Linebaugh Library System.
Newly renamed the Rutherford County Library System.
Newly renamed the Rutherford County Library System. Why'd they drop Linebaugh?
Because we're all over the county, and it did start out as one library and then two still within Murfreesboro, but it's grown and grown, and it embraces everyone in Rutherford County, so why not call it what it is? The main branch is still Linebaugh Library, but the entire system is the Rutherford County Library System.
That makes a lot of sense. How long ago did that happen?
About a year ago.
Oh, man, I'm a year behind. Goodness gracious. So anyway, guys, this place is awesome. And I didn't know it existed until maybe a year ago.
Yeah, we opened it in August of 18.
Okay, so Brett comes in and he's like, dude, you got to check this place out. And so we've had a couple of meetings here and been in a couple of times and kind of seen a few of the things that you guys have to offer. But I mean, I've barely scratched the surface. This morning already, you've shown me so many things that this place has. And it's probably underutilized, wouldn't you say?
Oh, likely. The number one thing that we hear when folks come in the door is, I never knew this was here. We hear, I thought it was part of the school, because we're right next to Hobgood Elementary School. The city let us build on this corner of Minerva and Jupiter. So it looks like it's part of the school. It's right next to the gym, kind of.
Yeah.
So it looks like it flows as if it's part of the campus. And while that's great to be part of a school campus, we are part of the library system. So people drive past us and go, oh, it's part of the school.
Sure.
So we've got signs up. We've got yard signs up.
You don't have to check your ID and get a visitor tag.
No, we don't. Although one of the SROs came in saying, you've got this back door unlocked and you've got to have that locked. It's not safe. And one of our employees went, why? We're the library. It was great. So, but we got to meet the SRO that way.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's a good relationship to have, for sure. So, we're going to do just a quick tour here in just a few minutes. But before we do that, I'd like to learn a little bit about you. So, how did you find yourself in this amazing space?
Well, that is an interesting story. I have been with the library system just over 10 years. Worked a little bit part-time at Linebaugh and Smyrna branches way back in 09 and 10, and then came on full-time at Linebaugh and worked there for many, many years. And I was going back to school to get my master's in library science, information science they call it now. And I was finishing up while this was being built. And the opening for the manager of this branch came to be as I had just gotten my degree, and I went, I don't want to leave Murfreesboro. There are no other openings. I don't want to drive to Nashville to be a branch manager somewhere else. I don't want a long commute. So I applied for it. This is not what I had seen in my future, but this is kind of what the future of libraries is. Maybe not entirely bookless, but libraries everywhere, public libraries everywhere, have a big digital presence, a makerspace presence, a STEAM and STEM presence in their communities. So just because this happens to be entirely what this is, I just went, why not? So,
well, and it's it's interesting because the pendulum swings so often, right? Sorry, got a call there. The bad side about doing it on the phone. By the way, Brett is here. I just saw him at the door. And he's watching out in the parking lot. So if we see him pop back up, we'll let him in.
Sure.
My partner. So he was just standing there. I saw him.
Okay. Yeah. We'll run out there and let him in.
But he's watching, so that's good.
Hi, Brett. Come to the door. We'll let you in.
Yeah, but when ebooks came out, for example, Kindles and things like that, a lot of people kind of made a shift to that. Oh, this is so cool. We can watch, or we can read 5,000 books in this one little device. And then all of a sudden people were kind of like, I kind of like actually touching paper and smelling it and, all of that kind of stuff. So I don't think that there will ever be a situation where one or the other is
dominant.
It's just gone, right? they'll always, I'll catch them here in a second.
Okay, I heard it rattle.
There'll always be room for both,
I
right?
think so, yeah.
And so having that primary source, right, the paper, has a place, and then having accessibility through a space like this has a place as well.
Yeah.
And for you, it might be I always want the computer screen to read from, and for me, it might be I always want the paper to read from.
Right.
Right. And then for some people, it's like I don't really care. I just want the information.
Right. I like. However, if I'm looking for a title, I will look through the catalog and see if there's one available on the shelf at one of the branches, and if not, I'll look and see if it's available through Overdrive, and see how long the wait is, and then I'll try Hoopla as well because there's no wait for Hoopla, but there sometimes the titles I want aren't available because there's a lot of video streaming and stuff like that with it. But that gives me 3 sources, boom, 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 that I can check immediately to see how can I get it the quickest.
That's right.
And so it's kind of fabulous.
Yeah, it's awesome. And then you combine that with all the other things that you guys have here, and I can't wait to show that off. Right? I mean, you've got the laser cutter out there.
The Glowforge.
The Glowforge. You've got a couple of different 3D printers. You guys have a recording studio.
We do, yeah.
Is that right? And this is stuff. I mean, this is high end stuff that not even the average Joe, but even perhaps would you say the above average Joe would not have access to. I mean, how much is a 3D printer? For me to go buy a decent 3D printer.
Well, yeah, a decent, that's the key word.
Right?
Yeah, because you can get just, tabletop 3D printers anymore. They're kind of, they've come onto the average Joe market.
Right.
And I don't even know how much those cost, but I do know how much those cost. And they're really nice. We talked to folks at Walker Makerspace and got some advice as to which route, and checked out because they've got several different varieties, and decided which way to go for them, for our newest 3D printers. And they're fabulous. They do a really clean job. They're very intuitive, and it's easy to say, okay, here's the orientation, take this route, and then if you want to sit down and do some design classes to make your own designs, that's one route you can take. But if you just want to print, a prefab
That's right. I brought Baby Yoda in here, by the way. Check this out. Is that not the most adorable thing you've ever seen in your life?
So, but that came from Thingiverse, and that is a website that's full of designs that people have put up open source to share. So you can go onto Thingiverse and find something adorable or functional and go print it. You have permission to print it, and you can make adjustments. You can make it, of course, whatever color filament you have. But if you need to make it more dense or bigger, you can make those adjustments before you send your file to your 3D printer.
And you can come in here and learn how to do that, and then actually do it.
Exactly.
I wouldn't be able to do that. I don't know. It's just cool that this is available, and I think more people need to know about it, which is why we're doing this.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of the kids at school at Home Good have found us out, and we'll get a lot of folks stopping by with dad and mom after a sports event or after practice, and starting a print. Or getting in the queue and coming back the next day to pick up their finished product.
Sure.
And it's pretty neat to see that they're starting these baby steps, and it won't be long before they're sitting down with SketchUp and figuring out their own personal designs.
Well, and in so many aspects of life, this being one of them, you don't know what you don't know until somebody tells you, hey, you should know this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, we see that in our industry. We see that in technology. I mean, there's so much out there, and just being aware that this is possible and here,
and
right?
Free, right?
Exactly. And all of a sudden, the synapses are going crazy, and they're like, oh, if I can do that, then I can do.
What can I do? Yeah, we've got folks that come in that make parts for replacement parts, building and rebuilding an engine. Will this work? Will this work? And so they try to get the part right. And of course, it's not going to be a PLA filament that their finished product's going to be made from, but they'll get it correct, get it fitting correctly, and then send it off to be made from metal.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. So they'll get it right the first time in an inexpensive way. You know, they'll bring their own filament in
Sure.
because they'll want
self-engineering.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And
that's empowerment right there.
It's awesome. I mean, how cool is that?
Yeah.
You know? And then, and I mean, that's just one of the things you guys have here to offer. So, what would you say? What would you say is the mission, the number one thing that you guys offer here at this space? And not necessarily specific, right?
Yeah, it's a bridge. It's a bridge to the digital divide. We like to think that we're providing what perhaps is not available at home, whether it's a 3D printer or a laser cutter or internet access or a full-size computer. I mean, I would say most everybody has access to some sort of internet at some point. Now, a lot of people have, a smartphone, but it's really hard to fill out a job application on a smartphone.
For sure.
Yep. With those tiny little keys. So
I was talking about fat fingers just a little bit ago. Yeah.
So if you're trying to fill out a job application or get your kid applied for some sort of federal funding or anything like that it's important to get it right and print it out and send it off somewhere where they need to, you need all that information correct. You want to see it before you send it.
Or for that matter, even just do the research and type up a research paper.
Exactly.
You can't do that on a phone. I mean, you could,
but it's hard. It's, it's tiny. And, there are people that write books on their phones, and way to go them. But I'd like to have a little bigger screen.
Yeah.
And so there's a computer lab full of desktops out there. And we've got laptops in-house if people need to use the Adobe Suite. Photoshop's an expensive product.
It is.
But if they want to come in and utilize it, they can, library card.
And then you guys have meeting spaces. So this is something that my team has utilized a few times. And I mean, you've got a whiteboard, you've got technology within the room, you can plug in, you've got the Mac Minis, you got all kinds of stuff in here. And these are fantastic meeting spaces that, if you were to go to some of the paid spaces like this, they're quite expensive. If they're available.
Right. Yeah. And anymore, we have folks walk in and go, "Hey, is there a room available?" It's like,
no, you got to reserve it.
Yeah.
Because it is being utilized.
Yeah. So that is really the most in demand and the most well used part of the space. And had we known, we probably would have made more meeting rooms.
Sure. Yeah. And you've got a nice little outdoor space. I mean, this place is great. So how would somebody, if they did want to use this, and we'll take a little tour here in a minute, but you even have quite a large space over here, meeting space.
Multi-purpose room.
Yeah.
We use that, for like board meetings. The library board meets there a couple times a year. Their classes, whether they're library sponsored classes or if somebody is teaching something. We've had financial information. I'm trying to think of someone in particular, but
like a Dave Ramsey, like a FP,
something like
FPU
that.
Or
Yeah,
whatever.
and as long as it is something that is given to the public free of charge, then it is available to use free of charge. All of it is on our website. There's a meeting room user agreement on the website. Website is rclstn.org, and you can do /bookings, and that'll take you right to the website for reserving rooms for meeting spaces.
And we'll include that in the comments here.
Yeah, that's the number one question. But the big room, if you want to have tables in front of everyone, probably 24 is your max. If theater space. Theater seating works, like you're just going to be lecturing, showing a presentation, but if people are going to be sitting at tables, 20 to 24 is really maxing. We've learned over the months that with elbow room and everything else.
People like their space, huh?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And if they're kids, we've had Girl Scout troops and coding clubs and everything else. Of course, kids, they'll group 8 around a table where you might have 3 or 4 adults. So it depends on your demographic.
And we have automatic lights.
We do have automatic lights, which is a plus and a minus.
Right.
We have found that most people in the computer lab like the lights off.
Yes.
So we don't have them on majority of the time unless it's a nighttime. And it's hilarious because they'll be on. Somebody will decide it's nighttime. It's super turn the lights on, and 15 minutes later, no one's moved because they're all on their computers, and the lights will turn off.
That's funny. So again, I'm sorry for the interruptions on there, but we've had 3 phone calls now while we've been sitting here. Business is good.
Callers, yeah.
Right. Instead, how about you just type in? That would be great. It would not interrupt the little broadcast. Well, Kathleen, why don't we take a tour?
Sure, that'd be great.
Because you got so much cool stuff here to show off. I'm going to make an adjustment. Sorry for this for just a second there if you're watching. We're going to flip this around. Boom. There we go. All right. So we'll walk. We're kind of tethered here. We were talking about how we like to use the wired mics.
Let me turn the light back on.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
Automatic.
Ask and you shall receive.
Ta-da! So we have a computer lab. We're re-imaging these on the front row. That's why they're dark. But these are all Apple computers. But if you are really happy with Windows, there is a Parallels program, so you can bring up Windows. So don't fret. You can go either way. There are 3 meeting spaces along here, the same size as this one. I would say 6 is a happy number. 1 to 6. 10 people can fit in there if folks are just sitting around the edge. Again, if they've got their laptop on their lap, or they're just taking notes, or they're just sitting and listening, we can bring a second table in that's just butted up against the wall. This is our little maker space. It's still a little, in need of neatening up. This is one of the 3D printers. The one in the back is printing something right now. This looks like it had a blowout. This is called plastic spaghetti.
Plastic spaghetti.
Yeah, there's a fail. I'm not sure what happened. I'm actually on vacation this week, so I'm blissfully ignorant of a lot that's going on, which is kind of fun. This is one that we saw this morning.
Yeah, look at this thing. How cool is this?
Because it's this axes move. We're kind of afraid to do the center one. We think it moves as well.
It looks like it does, but I didn't want to break it.
3D printing.
Super cool.
There's little gizmos here if you need to work on something, if you need to solder something.
I was going to say that's for soldering, isn't it?
Yeah. There's a vinyl cutter that I need to get hooked up to that computer. It's really close. So next Monday, that's what I'm going to be working on. These equipment cabinets I'm going to cover in vinyl so that they kind of match these guys.
Yep.
Apple green and blue. So they'll be a little more presentable rather than the lovely putty color they are right now. This is our recording studio.
Yeah, let's check this out. So this is as good of a studio as you would actually pay to what you would need to make a pretty decent recording.
Local podcasters use it. Over the summer, the neighborhood kids found us, and we had a lot of extremely local music happening in here. We learned we needed to sort of scrub the files on the desktop frequently.
Oh, no.
Well, hey, music is expression. It was
there
pretty
you
fun. We've done a few things with the after-school group at Patterson Park. A fabulous group. She has 2 different groups this time, the 3rd through 5th grade and 6th through 12th.
Okay.
And they're all graduating tonight.
Now, with something like this, is this something that a complete rookie would be able to get some assistance in?
Yes, we've got one of the things with who we hire here is how tech savvy they are. From helping somebody print a file or save a file, or finding that right website to fill out that job application, to how do I save
I mean, that's a lot of buttons and knobs.
That's a bunch of knobs. We did get it so that it's a one button wonder. So if you just set somebody down and say, this is all you need,
there he is.
Hey,
you got let in.
Hey, we totally lost you there at the beginning of this.
Oh yeah, we're
no.
kind of in a box here.
But it is amazing.
And it says it's back on. So
And Ron needs to come look at this.
Ron.
Allie.
Oh yeah, for sure. So we've got some connections with Carpe Artista, in Smyrna.
Oh, yeah.
And this is definitely a space that they could utilize. Now check this room out. I mean, this is fabulous. So this is what you were talking about, 24 people.
Yeah, I would say that's the comfortable elbow room adults. You can certainly get more. It depends on how cozy they are.
Uh-huh. How much they like each other.
Yeah, we have 50 chairs. So easy to set up for theater seating. The screen's up this way, whiteboard, podium. And we get lots of lectures, lots of things with folks helping others to apply for college, figure out how to apply for financial aids. There's a lot of glorious stuff that happens. It's all through the website. You can find out through events. You can call in and see what's going on. If it's not library sponsored, then the folks who are utilizing the room need to advertise. We can't advertise for them. But hopefully they do, and do a lot, and we try and share, this is happening.
Sure.
This is the most underutilized building in Rutherford County.
Of what it could be. As far as, I mean, it should be packed all the time.
To people and what they can do here.
Well, we're hoping we help with that. So let's check out the other side, because that is super cool too. You guys haven't left anybody out.
And did I even show you the kids' space?
No, I saw it the last time I was here, but so I mean, starting here.
Yeah, this is the front desk. So you walk in, there'd be a staff member here or nearby, and where's the recording studio?
Right.
What can I do? Do I need to get a library card? This is some of more of our 3D printing fun stuff.
Yep. There's Luigi. There's Mario.
And here's our friend, the Untitled Goose.
Yep.
Honk honk.
And check these out. So 20-sided die, right? And here, pull that open for me.
Oh. Magnetic.
Look at that. Magnetic bowl, so you can still store your dice in it. Pretty cool.
Hey, there's Dylan Woodruff. I mean, Brian Woodruff.
All right.
Okay, so back here's the kids' space. And virtual reality.
Yeah, we want to check out that VR set.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
We do have a few books up here. A lot of them are about scientists and explorers. Hopgood will come over and we'll have a.
So this flips?
Yeah, it can be a tabletop.
Really?
Yeah, got to do it automatically. This guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then you play games on the table?
Yeah, or vertically like a screen.
Yeah.
You can do like math games and matching.
Oh, wow.
There will be like color matching or sorting with bubbles and colors and letters. It's fairly, I won't say low elementary, but preschool, early elementary stuff. But we can add things to it, and it's hilarious because the older kids really, really love it. Just like the earlier coding toys, that Codapillar. Any teenager thinks it's just the bomb, and that's made for like 3 and 4 year olds, but they just get such a kick out of it because it's cute.
Yeah.
And it's like, of course, it's it's fun, and yet it's teaching these wee little ones what coding is.
But at the end of the day, a good toy is a good toy.
Exactly.
Right?
Whether it's
that's,
this or that.
Kind of like those marble sets when they say they're from ages 1 to 99.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, pickup sticks.
Yeah, exactly.
Or what is it? The
Tinker Toys.
Barrel of Monkeys.
Yeah, any of that.
I love that stuff.
They even have Legos.
Yeah. And that's everybody loves Legos.
And check out their little Lego.
Oh yeah, that's our Twitter bot. So this is
What?
So yeah, you can take your picture. So you look at here you are. So we'll take your picture. You press the button to capture. There we go. Ta-da! 2, 1, bing.
That's funny.
So, and this is the Raspberry Pi is in here. Those are little microcomputers.
Uh-huh.
Let's see if I can show you this one. There's the computer. That's the computer.
See, how cool is this place?
And that brings it up onto the Twitter feed over here. The Twitter feed is RCLS Photo Booth, and we usually share it from the main Twitter feed. And several of us are, watch this one and share it, and that way we can keep it. If anybody does anything
Inappropriate.
Yeah.
we can, weed it out.
People wouldn't do that, would they?
No, never at the library. So the PS4 and also a retro Pi.
Yeah.
So this is another Raspberry Pi project, and it's all the old school games like the Zombies Ate My Neighbors, and
Awesome.
Sonic is on there, all kinds of fun stuff.
Here's the VR.
There's the VR, a lot of good games. We just got Beat Saber, which you either are fabulous at or you get
Super frustrated.
the 3D printer back here.
Yeah, it's made a lot of progress since I was in here
Oh,
earlier.
sure enough. Don't mind us.
Hey.
Nothing's.
Let's do it.
Cool. Hi guys.
Hey.
How y'all doing?
Sorry, we're Facebook Living.
Okay.
Yep.
Back up, or is it all or nothing kind of thing?
Kind of all or nothing. I mean, I guess you could slice the head and glue it on, but it
Mhm.
wouldn't quite be the same.
There is a runout sensor that we're going to order. It's an add-on bit.
I got you.
But this has gone to show that we really need that add-on.
Yes,
So it's on our Christmas list.
because that's a lot of
And who fills
essentially
your
waste,
Christmas
right?
list? Yeah, I mean, aside from Santa.
Santa does.
We've got a
That's
whole
something that we can
lot of
actually,
guys.
I'm not sure if I can get that from Amazon. Is that from Amazon or from the...
Oh yeah. This is super cool. Look at
them?
this.
Okay.
What? The coolest thing we've 3D printed
Yes.
that I've done. Goes out of tune when it sits, but it's a little travel guitar.
And that was, what,
Nice.
7 pieces?
Yeah, 7 pieces. Then I broke the neck, so that didn't help.
Ah,
But yeah, bolted it on. I might redo the neck at some point. That's why we bolted it on instead. But yeah, and it's wood-based filament, so it's got like sawdust in it.
that is so
you can
awesome.
sand it, you can stain it, and kind of treat it like wood. That's
Very
so
cool. All
Those
right.
are a little flock of Yodas.
Yep. That should be a band name.
Flock of Yodas.
We had Flock of Seagulls, so why not Flock of Yodas, right? So, all right. Well, Kathleen, first of all, we're going to put the link on here for book and space or whatever, right? To utilize the space. How would you, somebody that's never been here, kind of your average person, what would be the reason for them to come? Just access to
computers. If it's over the holidays, come play the VR. Come play video games. Try before you buy. There's a lot of things. There are some VRs that people have at home, but this Vive headset. This is a pretty high-end thing, and
Good gracious.
it's not going to be something that most people would have at home. It's very immersive. So we've got this entire floor area here mapped out. That's why it's right in front of the staff room. So people can be around and watching their friend or utilizing and
And
playing
that's what
the
all
game.
of these are?
Just this one here, sadly.
Oh.
Those we usually have tuned into. Those TVs up there are usually tuned into stations. These are all Roku's, so we have them on Pluto TV. So we usually have a news feed, a cooking show, weather. Just depends on the time of day and what the weather's doing out there. We have
Sure.
lots of weather on sometimes.
right?
After school, we'll have like a kitten or puppy station on there because the kids really like it, and
Yeah.
we kind of like it too. The cooking shows are also really popular.
They are.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean,
People like to
you
see
sit there and go, suddenly I'm really hungry. But, this will be going, and folks will be sitting at the table and watching what's going on because, like I said, some people are super good. There's a little 9-year-old in here, and he was whooping up on Beat Saber, and I'm going, way to go you, because I just get plowed down with that
Yeah.
thing. My favorite thing on here is Google Earth. You can go visit just about any place. There are presets, so yeah, go to Paris. Go to Paris, Tennessee, for that matter. But you can type it in and visit. You can go to your hometown. You can put in your address and see your house if the Google camera has driven by.
Right.
So it's pretty nifty, and you can also sort of turn your back to the Earth and look out into space.
Oh, that's cool.
Very
So if you've got some vertigo problems, maybe not with the space thing, but it's a lot of fun, and it's a great way to pass, a rainy afternoon. If the kids are getting squirrely over the holidays, come on in.
It's a good place to come
Your
play.
kids should not be bored
Right.
over any break with this.
Yeah, we've got stuff to do, and I know folks have Legos at home, but every once in a while, it's nice just to be someplace else.
Sure.
And it's free.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. So, within our team, there's been several occasions where we've said, we should do blank. And then it's like, well, I don't really know how. We don't really have the equipment. Do we want to invest the money in the equipment? And the answer might be yes. But like you said, try before you buy, right? So if we wanted to do some more extensive recording, for example, come in, let's learn, and one of the things we've learned, like just for example, the microphone that you have on there, right? I've learned that these are okay, but I've learned some details that I would want in another set of microphones. And so, your mixing board back there, maybe I play with that and I'm like, well, but for what I want, I would like for it to be whatever, right? And so you can try before you buy. It's high quality stuff, and it's free. And you've got people here that know how to use it and can help you work through it. So pretty cool.
And the same with games. We're trying to keep on top of some of the newer games. We got the Mario Maker 2, which it took a little while for it to take off here. We thought it was going to be this huge thing, and then one young man figured out how to let it be a multiplayer, because we thought it was a single player thing. And once it was a multiplayer,
it just exploded.
Yeah, it was a lot more fun.
Sure.
So that was nifty. The Untitled Goose Game is hugely popular here.
Yeah.
And I think one of the reasons is the staff really likes it. So we're like, have you tried this?
Yeah.
And once people do, it's just a hoot. They're like, no, I had no idea this was happening. So. And
next question, and this is a big one for our audience typically, how would somebody help out? I mean, do you need volunteers? Do you need equipment, business owners, that kind of thing? If they wanted to contribute, how would they do that?
Volunteers, and Trey is a great one to talk with. You've met him earlier. Trey Gwynn is our technology and outreach coordinator, and he's a system-wide employee. But he helps with setting up classes, and that's something that has been a big hit or a big bomb. People come in and say, oh, I really need to learn Excel. So you offer an Excel class, and nobody shows up. So, it's the basics. People really want them, but figuring out when they want those things. And so we try to offer them here at the Tech and at Limeball and at Smyrna at different times of day. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But having people who can teach a class, and it can be what it is that you like to teach. Maybe you like to teach creative writing. It can be on the computer. Suddenly it's a computer class, but it's creative writing.
Right.
So if you want to give back to the community, volunteer at the library and just get in touch. Again, through the website, there is a drop down, I'd like to volunteer. And we'll get back with you. Or you can call any one of the branch managers or email, and we will get you routed to the right person. But we would love to have some more people teaching computer classes. If you know about recording, we would like to have more people that can help others learn more about the recording studio.
Well, because there's the basic science to it, but then there's the artistry that goes into it.
Exactly.
Right? And
some
that's
folks
where
just need help with, and I know that Audacity is a super easy program, but people need hand-holding. Once they are shown the 101 of Audacity, then they can go further. But maybe if we had sort of a tech coach for GarageBand and Audacity, who is here once a month, then we could say, hey, come on the second Thursday, and we'll have that.
Because at the beginning, the use of the technology is what's prohibitive for the creativity that would go with it.
People are daunted by it, and it could be as much as as basic as I don't know how to turn a computer on.
Sure.
To I don't know what program to use, or now I'm in that program, but I don't know where to go next.
Right. What are all these layers and that kind of thing? Brett and I ran into that. We kind of self-taught ourselves some video production software. And the first video I made, it took me probably 5 hours to sit there, and it was because I clicked this, and I was like, well, why did it do that? You know, and all of a sudden, but if somebody had kind of handheld me through that first one, then they'd have been like, no, don't do that, and here's why. Then, you know, the second video I put together, it was an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know.
Did you take notes or remember? Or?
It was more of repetition because
Yeah.
we made a bunch of videos.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So by the time we were done, I mean, it was like, okay, I can make one in about 25 minutes. And the only reason it took so long was the computer actually processing everything and building the video.
Right.
Well, and then Brett and
The
I
steps were much quicker.
shared notes. It's like, well, because we use different programs. Well, could yours do this? Well, I don't know. I didn't even think to look for that,
Try,
you know.
yeah.
So
That's neat.
it was pretty fun. But anyway, Kathleen, thank you so
Oh,
much.
you bet. We appreciate you coming out.
Hey, your wish list,
Yeah.
we need to get that,
Oh,
kind of publish it somewhere.
sure,
Yeah.
sure.
We may have friends that want to make a donation in a different way.
Well, you know
like
what?
gifts in kind.
There was something that approaching the library last week, approaching the tech. I was on Mercury, and I went, it would have been nice to decorate a little bit for Christmas. And there's that huge window above the doors, and that thing's humongous. And I said, boy, I could put like a 6-foot wreath up there. I wonder how much a 6-foot wreath costs.
Hey,
and
they're
I
going to
went,
go on sale.
I was going to say, that's exactly what I was going to
there's
say.
that. They're going to go on sale real soon, so next year I could be prepared. And I went, but the whole Marie Kondo thing, I wonder how many people have stopped decorating
Decorating, right.
and have a 6-foot wreath at home. They
Yeah.
would love to donate to the tech.
Yeah.
So,
You
if
heard it here
have
first, ladies and
a
gentlemen.
gigantic wreath at home.
Could we 3D print a 6-foot wreath?
God, you know how long that would take.
But how awesome would it be, you
Till
know?
next Christmas, that's how long it would take.
And that's why we would definitely need that, what'd you call it?
Oh, the sensor?
Yeah,
Because we'd
for
have
sure.
to stop
Yeah,
and
yeah,
put
yeah.
on a new filament.
Yeah.
New filament. We'd
That's
have to
cool.
do the color changing one. That would be.
Yes,
That
for
would be
sure.
awesome, yeah.
Hey, I'm telling you, maybe we just need a 3D printer dedicated only to printing that wreath
Right, yeah, just set it up here.
for the rest of the year. Yeah. So, all right, well, very cool. Brett, you got anything else?
I think if you haven't been here, I would encourage you, if you're off over the holiday, just drop by.
Yeah.
Just to check it out. Get a tour. I'm sure every one of us at some point has had a library card. You probably have no idea where it is now, but
Get another one.
come down,
Yeah.
get another one, check it out. And
They won't yell at you if you lost
That's
it.
right.
No.
Nobody will care. But this is an awesome resource that so many people have never even stepped foot inside.
Yep, for sure. And I mean, look at that. That is a beautiful building. I mean, just look
It is.
across there. It's awesome. So,
Great space.
all right. Well, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you for coming in on your vacation.
Oh, you bet. Oh, anytime. Anything I can do for my library, you bet.
I love it.
Hey,
I
next
love it.
week, very special guest.
Oh yeah, you'll want to be watching.
I will.
Yeah, we've got. Can we announce it?
Do you want to?
I think we should.
Okay.
We are sitting down at 9:00 next Tuesday, 1 week from today, with the big man himself.
No.
He's taking a few minutes of his busy day on Christmas Eve.
I was
to
going to say,
talk to
the
us.
busiest day.
That's right.
Yep, we got him. So,
Wow.
Jay Harmon Home Team exclusive
With Santa.
interview with the big man with Santa Claus.
That's awesome.
So, we heard he likes coffee, and we got some hard hitting questions for him.
That's right.
Yep,
It's going to be fun.
it is.
How naughty is naughty exactly?
Well, yeah, and which one of us is on which list? I have a feeling I already know the answer to that, but we'll ask him anyway because, maybe I'm wrong. So, anyway, we'll see.
Good luck.
Yeah, I need it. All right, thanks for watching. Have a great rest of the week.